Hey guys, what's up? Today I'm going to be giving you a guide to Air Force Basic Training Graduation Weekend. It's kind of a mouthful, but I'm going to tell you what to do during the whole weekend and the schedule, like a play-by-play of what's going to go down and what you should expect for that weekend. I myself have actually been through basic training graduation weekend. My husband went through basic training. We were actually married in October of 2016. He left in November for basic training and he graduated New Year's weekend, like 2017. So I kind of know a play-by-play of what to expect because I myself have been through it. And since I was a spouse before he left for basic training, I actually got the schedule sent to me. It's kind of a rundown of the times and everything that is going on for that weekend. So if you see me looking down at the schedule, it's right here. So, Thursday, that is the beginning of the weekend. It goes from Thursday to Sunday. So you have things to do. You should plan a whole 4-day weekend to be there. So Thursday, you are going to get there bright and early, like 7 a.m. if not earlier, to get good parking and seats. So 7 a.m. it starts at the reception center. It's like this big auditorium type thing. They have like a store inside with like food, and then they have like t-shirts. There's a whole bunch to do in there while you wait, but there is an events briefing. Everybody needs to go to this at least once. They have one scheduled every morning for the whole graduation weekend. I recommend going to the first one at 7 a.m. on Thursday. And they give like a rundown to everybody that's there of what's going to happen. Like they're not going to hand you a schedule. Well, actually I think they do. I think they might give you like a schedule and then like a map of where to go. But they're going to tell you everything you need to know, when you can see your airmen, what days you get to take them on or off base, all that stuff. So that event briefing is going to be at 7 a.m. on Thursday. It's only about 30 minutes, not very long at all. And then directly after that, you will walk behind the event center where you were for the briefing. And there is like an outdoor auditorium type thing with like a track that goes in front of it. And weather permitting, you will line up in front of the bleachers, and some people can sit on the bleachers, like if you need to, like if you're handicapped, you can sit on the bleachers. But then your airmen, you'll see your airmen for the first time. You won't get to touch them, you won't get to talk to them, but they will run in front of you twice. They will make a loop, I think it's clockwise, and then they will come back through counterclockwise, or it might be the opposite. But they will run in front of you 2 times. So if you don't see them the first time, you will definitely see them the second time. The good thing to know is your husband's, is it flight? Their heritage flight, something like that. My husband was Mustangs, so he was wearing maroon. He wrote me that in a letter, so I knew to be watching for maroon. Luckily, he was in the very front row when he was running, so I could pick him out a mile away. I'm like, that's my husband, I see him running. I see you, boo. But sometimes it's hard to pick them out because they all look the same. They all have short hair. They're all wearing the same stuff. It's hard to pick them out. But you will see them run by you 2 times. So be on the lookout. Then after that, they will bring you back into the event center. And you'll have time to like, there's like a snack bar and like you can go shop for t-shirts. And they also have like tickets for sale. The weekend that we were there, they had a basketball game going on. So we could buy tickets for a basketball game. You can just sit in there. You can buy the DVD that has all the pictures and videos from your significant other's graduation or their basic training. You can watch, like, look at all the pictures. I think my husband had like 1 picture in there out of like the whole hour-long video. Whatever, we didn't buy it. Then after that, like an hour after that, there is a spouses briefing. And I highly, highly recommend this for any spouses fiancés, or if you're a girlfriend and you know that you're going to get married, like you definitely know it, like there's no question about it, go to this. Because they will talk to you about moving to your first duty station. They'll talk to you about grants and scholarships, stuff for spouses to your airmen. Like they will talk about moving, they talk about like costs of everything, they talk about any financial help that you need, they'll talk about it. And if you have any questions, like feel free to ask them. They have been military spouses for 15 to 20 years, so they know what they're talking about. So use that time to gain information, not just from me, but like from all these people who have been spouses for years and they know what to expect. I highly recommend that. And then directly after that, we got so lucky because there was extra handicap seating for the coin ceremony. That's when you first get to tap out your airmen. You get to see them and hug them for the first time. They had extra handicap seating, and they brought us spouses, there was only like 10 or 15 of us, they brought us to the extra handicap seating where we could be like directly in front of where the airmen were. Like some people, it was good to sit there. Like for me, it was good to sit there because I knew my husband's heritage flight and he would be directly in front of the handicap seating where I was sitting. So it's good to take advantage of. If it involves you, definitely sit there. Because some people wanted to sit there, but then their husband's heritage flight or their spouse's heritage flight was on the opposite side of the auditorium. You don't want to sit there then, because then you got to run a mile just to get there. But Jason was only like 20 yards in front of me. Like I could see him walking to me, but he didn't look up at me. Typical man. He didn't notice me, but I sat there and watched him like a hawk the whole time. I'm like, that's my husband. Oh my God. I was so excited. But it was convenient for me. So if you know your husband's heritage flight, or I keep on saying husband, if you know your airman's heritage flight, utilize that. If not, you don't have to. You know, they give you like a seating diagram of where everybody's going to be standing, where your significant other's heritage flight will be. Utilize it. Sit the closest that you can so you can sprint down there, be the first one there, boom. You got it. Then directly after the coin ceremony, you get to tap out your airmen. I'll put in some pictures of that right here. It was the sweetest time. It was probably one of the best memories that I had, because you haven't seen them in over 8 weeks. And it's amazing. That's all I can say. It's amazing. And after that, you get to, I'm pretty sure it's off base Liberty until 8 o'clock that night. So they take curfews very, very, very seriously. Do not walk in, or do not drop off your airmen 5 minutes until curfew, because then they gotta haul ass upstairs to get to where they need to be, and they're late, like 1 or 2 minutes late. If enough people show up late, they can take away on or off base Liberty for that weekend, like Saturday or Sunday. So don't mess around with the curfews. Like, take that seriously. Like, my husband wanted to be there 30 minutes early, so there was no question about it. He would be there when he needed to be there. So don't play around with it. Take it seriously. It's not just like, oh, it's a curfew. Nah. For real, guys. Take that seriously. Now we're on to the second day, which is Friday, and that is the Airman's Parade. This is it's like the serious ceremony out of the whole weekend. They will be in their dress blues, looking snazzy, looking fine, because, yeah, you better be snatching some pictures because they're looking good. But that starts at 9 in the morning. You still want to get there early because you want to get a good seat, because this is outdoors, weather permitting. But it's outdoors. It looks like a giant football field. Like, it is huge. I call it the parade field. It's giant. There's not very many stands, so like people were like huddled in there, and it was super cold. So thankfully everybody was like huddled in there, like getting all close and personal. But that starts at 9 a.m. And you sit there for like 30 minutes waiting for them, and they come marching in their dress blues. It's cool. They like do all these fancy formations, the band's playing. It's pretty cool. But that's another time where you get to tap out your airmen. So if your parents did it the day before, or your significant other's parents did it the day before, this is another chance to tap them out. So race them down there and tap them out. I'll add some more pictures of this little scenario right here. I tapped him out both days, luckily. Like, his parents really didn't care. Like, they just let me do it, like, because I was sprinting down there. There was no fighting it. But the second day I did bring his little stepsister Emily down there with me to help me tap him out. I didn't get any videos of that, but I brought her with me that time. I wasn't just like elbowing people out of my way. Oops. I was so excited. I wanted to see him so bad. But they're in their dress blues that day. And then directly after that, they have, it's like an open house of their dorms. So you get to go to their dorms where they've been staying the last 8 weeks and just look at everything. You get to look at how clean their closet is, how nice and neat their bed is made. Kind of blew my mind because my husband's not one to do laundry or make a bed. I was a little shocked. But it was so cool. Like, and then at the briefing the day before, they told everybody like, oh, you gotta like act like you're gonna mess up their stuff, but like don't really touch it. And then his dad got in there and was actually messing up stuff, and oh, bless Jason's heart, he was freaking out like they said he would be. It was so funny. But yeah, you get to see where they've been living, and like he was up on the 4th floor and he was like explaining like what they did every day, like how they would like race down the stairs and try to beat all the other flights and everything, and it was pretty cool. You just get to see where they've been living and how they've been roughing it. Not really, because it's the Air Force. But I don't think you can't take pictures inside, even though people were. I don't know why you would, even though they tell you like 5 times do not take pictures, but like there's people in there recording and like getting in trouble. So don't do that. You gotta listen to the rules, because this is the military. They take stuff seriously. And then the rest of the day you have off-base liberty. Woohoo! We actually went and ate lunch at the BX, which is just like a mini mall. They had like Chinese and like, I think Taco Bell maybe, they had pizza. It's like a regular mall. And then we went and walked around for a little bit, and I think we bought more Air Force apparel, because that's like what you're all about. Like, I don't wear Air Force stuff hardly at all anymore because I'm like kind of used to it. Sorry if you hear the jets taking off. We live on base, so you hear F-16s flying over all the time. But I forgot what I was saying because I'm rambling again. Yeah, I don't really wear Air Force apparel anymore, so like then I was like all about it. I'm like, give me Air Force water bottles, hoodies, t-shirts, shorts, everything Air Force. Not anymore. I'm like, man, I'm over it. But that's a chance to go shopping, hang out with your airmen. I think my husband, he was kind of like freaking out because he felt like MTIs were watching him all the time. Like he was like constantly like measuring his cap to make sure it was like the right distance above his eyebrows, and like he was so on alert, like all the time. But anyways, we got to go off base, and that day we went to the Riverwalk, which I highly suggest going because it was so pretty. I'll insert some more pictures right now. But there's like shops and restaurants, and there's like a sidewalk that just runs along this little canal that goes through all downtown San Antonio. We went on an actual Riverwalk tour, which is on a little boat that goes down the canals. It was so cool. We got so many good pictures of the town, and I highly suggest going, like, to anybody. Even if you do like live in Texas, you've been before, take your airmen this time because they're in uniform. It's like their first time getting to relax. So just go do it. Then once again, they are due back to their training squadron at 8 p.m. Don't mess that up. You have to be on time. You don't want to get them in trouble. You don't want them to miss out on another day of on or off base liberty. You don't want to screw with it. Just listen to the rules and follow them. Sorry, my dog's climbing in my lap. Say hi, Whiskey. Hi. Say hi, YouTube. Hi. Anyway, on to the next day, which is Saturday, day 3. This is off-base Liberty, Town Pass, that's what they call it. This was the day that we went to SeaWorld, actually. We went to SeaWorld that day. And my husband was on alert all the time. He didn't want to ride rides or go do anything besides walk around because he didn't want to get his dress blues dirty. Sadly, they do have to wear their dress blues for the entire weekend, so they are like constantly fixing themselves, trying to be all prim and proper. So it wasn't, I feel like it wasn't very fun for him because he had to tidy himself up all the time. It was nice to get to spend time together. He really liked that. It was just kind of stressful because he wanted to be nice all the time. And I'm like, babe, relax. Like, it's okay. There's not going to be any MTIs here. He's like, you don't know that. Like, stressing out like usual. But anyways, you just have to go with the flow. Like, your airmen are going to be, I don't want to say different, but they're going to hold themselves to a higher standard. They're going to be more confident. They're going to be more prideful. So you just have to go along with these changes. And you can't like be like, oh my God, they're acting weird. Like, why are you acting like that? Like, they've been away for 8.5 weeks. Like, their lives are different now. They are more mature. They've had these strict rules for 8 weeks. And we've been out living our lives for 8 weeks. And you come together and you're different. Things aren't the same. But you have to embrace it because they're more confident. You just have to go, like, embrace the change. Don't run away from it or be mad at it. Stop biting my hand. Oh my God. Go get your toy. Go get your squeaky toy. But anyways, embrace the change. Don't be a bitch about it. 4th day is Sunday. They have, oh, there goes my backdrop. They have on-base Liberty that day, and that day we just kind of hung around the BX. We went to the parade field and we took pictures of all of the planes and jets that are lined around the parade field. It's pretty cool. I'll insert more pictures right here. There is some pretty badass jets and planes over there, so you could just get to walk around. There's like a sidewalk going around the whole parade field. You'll walk like a mile, but you get to look all the planes and the jets. And like, my husband, he was like, oh, I've seen this, I know what this is, like, I learned about this. Like, just more time to hang out together and be with your family. And then I think we brought some lunch and we had a picnic at the parade field. They have like little picnic tables like around the parade field. We just sat there and ate lunch and relaxed. And that day they have to be back at their training squadron by 6. So that is earlier. Don't get them in trouble. Please don't. That would not be good. But anyways, back to Saturday. We actually bought tickets to go to a basketball game, but we didn't because Jason was so tired. But on that, if you do purchase any basketball, football, baseball tickets, whatever they are allowing, they get extended curfew for that day. So if the game ends at 11:45, they have to be back at 11:45. Or they have to be back like as soon as the game's over because they're watching the game. They know when it's going to be done. They know it's over. So don't try to sneak around and be like, oh, that game wasn't over till midnight. No, it was over at 11:45. So you should be back at midnight or a little bit after. Like, don't push the rules. Don't push any buttons. Follow the rules, please. You do not want your airmen getting privileges taken away. Be good. But that is all. I hope you guys enjoyed this informational video. I know I kind of rambled quite a bit. If you guys have any other video ideas about the Air Force, any questions, anything like that, post them down in the comments below. I will also add my social media down there. It's my Instagram and Facebook. I don't really Snapchat, so I'm not going to add my Snapchat on there either. I only have like 3 people. But I'll add that down below. Make sure you like this video and subscribe if you want to see more. And I will see you next time. Bye! Say bye, Whiskey. Bye! He's got a hot dog. Bye, guys.